grind takes priority. The BBC takes priority. It's not the MMR or the Joust grind. True. True, Kershaw. That's just from doing too many headers. That's just concussion central. I've had 8 or 9 concussions. Got to the point where I was told if I got another one, it would probably occur with brain damage. And who knows, maybe I already have brain damage, which should explain a lot. Anyway, the Hachi locked in for the Bronze Brawlers. A Fafnir Hachi and Bologna for the Bronze Brawlers. The first we've seen of this roster getting their first set in. And let's get underway. I love bronze balls. That's crazy. I just read that on stream. I see Jesse's message like, totally I should be able to read these just fine. Nope. Crazy. All right. Boom. Let's see what they got. I'm interested. We haven't... Like, I know Jan. I've played with Jan before I really came into streaming, to be honest. Played with him competitive. So I'm very aware of who Jan is. I am completely unaware of what Genos and BTB can actually bring to the table for this roster, so I'm interested to see their debut to the BBC Draft League. Boom. Hey. I've talked about this a couple times. Obviously checking builds and seeing most Bologna's building Phalanx into Phalanx into Berserkers, then Shoguns, dropping an Exir Kins. Instead, the Runeforge that's going to proc on that disarm. I am interested to see if it finds more value than the Phalanx would have. Nothing outside of that really catches my attention beside a possible the blink here for the Bologna while you have a heavily on this chalk. It is 5 health potions versus multi-pots, so just a good catch by Warwick. Plenty of wave pressure here by the Honda Odyssey. On the receiving end of a little too much poke. Purple is dragged to the forefront. Hopefully Houyi is able to get that triple bounce. They are able to secure purple. However, Houyi getting CC'd. Heavenly is used. Bologna is the target of this horrific Heavenly. Does First Blood go down to this Fafnir? It does. Yawn falls to the mighty Honda Odyssey. So First Blood and purple here for Honda. It's a nice lead. You got to be really careful, especially with that First Blood. Those level 5s, as they just take over 2 of them, Houyi not level 5, they're going to back in preparation for red. All the F6s in chat is crazy. You gotta be a little careful because the Bacchus does have all, not feeling it worth not getting that kill threshold. Just a little more damage was needed. Shock ulted. Hachi forced to ult away. The bounce doesn't connect. But a big flop in by the Bacchus, followed up by the Houyi all. A ton of damage here by Honda's Odyssey. Bronze Brawlers are chunked out. Houyi pathing around, feeling confident enough to wrap. Bologna ults in, but does she have the damage? It might be a possible troll. I'm getting a little too overconfident. Like Ahuna is on Rat Squid. Red is pulled. Should still be easily secured by Honda's Odyssey. No contest from Bronze Brawlers. That was a return kill, but you still have, which is the Hou Yi death, you still have a little bit of a lead, are you accruing with First Blood and both neutral buffs. I'm waiting. I mean, you almost have all first item spikes here for Honda's Odyssey. Not yet dominance for the Hou Yi, but no full or first item for Bronze Brawlers. This is a big spike leading into purple. If they find that confidence, all having alt, they could get a possible pick. Just trying to gain any pressure that they can lead into this purple buff. Ooh, 11 health, just getting there a little late. Johnson spawning. Runeforge is online. There's the Runeforge proc from the disarm. Oh. Hachi Bouge beads a little late. Bacchus pops Horn Shard looking for the cooldown. Does he have the damage? Just kind of keeping an eye on both. The Runeforge proc. Hachi alt able to secure yet another kill for the Bronze Brawlers. A little sign of life, if you will. Be a little careful tanking this. It's a little unnecessary. Bologna actually blinks in. And alt, the Runeforge proc is enough. Does she have enough damage? She does! She finds the pick on the Hou Yi. I genuinely didn't expect that. I don't think if you have the Runeforge there, the Hou Yi actually goes down. He used beads and still goes down. Hou Yi down for 8. Chalk's pathing in. It could be a red buff. And if that is not an argument for Runeforge first, I don't know what could be. Back gets stopped. Hachi's not here. They are able to secure red buff regardless. With that Runeforge proc, that damage onto the Hou Yi, this Bologna is doing numbers, but the damage being turned onto her is more than enough to secure the kill. Fafnir now attempting it all, a little zoned. Hachi, Bacchus flopped into Chalk alt. The damage, is it there? It is between the two tanks. Both alts dropped and plenty of damage to secure a pick onto this Hachi. Didn't have beads or alt. Got his dash caught by the Chalk silence. So I'm assuming there's going to be a phalanx here for the Bologna. Exi for the Hachi. Possible Glass Shield here for Chalk. Full spawning. Looking for a cheeky bounce. Fafnir jumps in. Oh, you shouldn't have jump here. Oh, the Bologna alt just off the mark. That would have spelled possible death for a Hou Yi. It's an unfortunate missed ability. All three members of both teams present. The bounce didn't connect. Hachi alts forward. Not able to catch the Hou Yi. Hou Yi stepping back. What's up, Terry? Fafnir just turning a ton of damage out of this Chalk. Isn't enough to kill, though. Fafnir forced to step back. That's Hou-Yi and Chalk ult for the Fafnir. Meanwhile, the Bacchus now the target of all that aggression. The Runeforge proc, is it enough via the team to kill him? The range ones, one connects. Chalk doing his very best to body block the other two. It's a little wild. The fight is super split by both teams. Red spawning, blowing a screen Johnson. Blowing pulling red as well. So this is a little interesting, considering they had a lead and we're actually losing it here. Not much, but still a little something left for the Honda Odyssey. All team members for both teams are present. Bologna, the target of most of the aggression. Chalk ults in, forces Faf ult. Hou-Yi jumps away. Fafnir looking to zone the Hou-Yi away. Clear. The Bologna Hachi went to blue buff to secure that. Not a ton happening beside the Bacchus obviously having 2 of those kills. Being a level 13, the highest level in the game currently. Most of that lead currently sits with this Bacchus. Highest net worth. So instead of going Phalanx, the Bologna actually went Berserkers. Just not a range for that full combo from the Hou-Yi onto the Bologna to get a couple autos or a little bit of poke. Red spawning shortly. 2 members of the Bronze Brawlers pathing out. 2 Reg Wards in hand for this Hachi. Second Relics now taking over. Bologna hasn't had the chance to back. Everybody else has a second relic. Shot going this blink. A bracer for the Bacchus, fully upgraded. This might be that team fight. They wrap around. Bologna ults in, forces beats. Heavenly is used. Trying to create some of that separation. The Bacchus flops back to get the Fafnir off. Meanwhile, the Chalk in the back ulting this Hachi. Bacchus forces Aegis from the Hachi. Hachi does have ult still, so that is super notable. Don't yet have Kins. I'm keeping an eye on when this actually hits Kins. For this Hachi, it's going to result in a ton of damage. Bacchus flops in. Do we have enough damage between this team? The stunned out. He doesn't have leap. He's forced to heavenly away, but the Hachi secures kill with ultimate. Bacchus goes down. Should result in a Johnson and purple buff for the Bronze Brawlers. We've yet to see this team play. I don't think I've actually seen them scrim either. For the first game playing together for the Bronze Brawlers, they're doing exceptionally well. Blue buffs being invaded. Hachi not able to steal it away from the invade. I'll take a peek at. There's the Kins for both ADCs. Going to be able to chunk a ton. Not yet. Looks like a Midgard going to be picked up here by that Bellona. Shoguns for the Fafnir. Both these item spikes should be fairly decent for the Bronze Brawlers. Bacchus. The good reaction time of this Hachi to be dashing away from that Bacchus flop. Bacchus is up front alone. Heavenly's used. Fafnir ults. Do they have the damage? But Fafnir jumps in, actually. Hachi gets a double ult off, but the damage comes through, eviscerating that Hachi. It's just a little aggressive. Does the Fafnir have enough damage? Unfortunately, the Yi had jump. Bellona gets a blink off. Does she have the damage? She does! ADC for ADC. How's this 2v2 look? I would assume this would favor the 2v2. However, Fafnir misses the stun. Gets the leap stun on the Chalk, but yet elects to back up. Just Heavenly. Just not enough damage. The Bacchus able to back up, and the Chalk able to find the kill on this Bellona. A little bit of different pages there by the Bronze Brawlers. Red is up. So 2-1 in favor of Honda Odyssey from that fight. Hachi going down early. We did get both relics from the Yi, or sorry, excuse me, we got the Aegis from the Yi, and he did end up going down. Just barely. Considering, like, it is a little bit of a lead, but it isn't been... It's not overly unsurmountable, if you will. The Chalk does a level 17, the lead that Bacchus had now on this Chalk, though. That is a little scary. He did actually pick up a Brawlers. Oh, the Ansel that heal. Bellona ults after. Fafnir goes into alt Midgard. His ball, Thorns pop. Does she have the damage to kill him? He doesn't. The Chalk slow. Hachi's doing his very best to chunk down this Bacchus. The Hachi ults in. Gets a big kill. I love that confidence here by the Bronze Brawlers. Exceptional by the Hachi. What he was punished last fight for ulting that way actually gets the value of getting that pick due to the Hou Yi Aegis and jump being down. Does this result in a T1, though? All members of the Bronze Brawlers are low here. You gotta be really careful of that flop. And you get caught. We just... A little unfortunate. His timing's been good on that dash to make sure he hasn't been caught by those in past, but when it mattered most, a little unfortunate. Chalk doing really well to stop backs considering wave is here. Bellona just gets back off. Oh, the hammer not connecting with the Bacchus burp. Bellona's back, but I don't know if it matters. Runeforge procced. This Johnson would be really big here to heal up this T1. Hou Yi's pathing straight to it. He has started it. Bellona doesn't have ult to really challenge it. Gonna be a little late. Hou Yi making sure he secures it to make sure the Bronze Brawlers isn't able to heal, or aren't able to heal that T1. Holy. Looks like a Kins or Axie being put on this Bellona's build now. Double Midgard into the Honda Odyssey. Possible Midgard now being started here for this Chalk. Red did just spawn. Hachi getting double dove by this tank. Forced to ult to get away. Does This double tank dive on the other side, able to secure the kill on this Yi. The damage isn't enough. Fafnir ulting just now. They are able to secure the kill. And a 1-for-1. Hachi dashes away. You got to be really careful. That dash timer without ult could get him caught here. Bacchus getting ult off now. The Aegis gonna get him caught, and does. Not having that safety from ultimate. It's a little rough on the timing for Relics. Fafnir trying to do his very best to clear wave. Does he have the damage to kill, though? So it would be decently large to make sure he actually gets... Can actually secure it here. Chalk surely is able to stand here longer. Bath forced to jump away. Bologna is up. Hachi down for 20. We do get the Kins online for this Bologna. Hachi's still down for 3. Should easily result in a T1. A big focus of this Bologna. Forced to ult over the wall. Yi jumps after. Oh, Yi ult should result in the kill. Disarm. T1 and a kill should result in a possible Bull Demon pull. 2 remaining members of Bronze Brawlers left with the task of trying to defend. Do they just give? Do they step up? Hachi has ult, but doesn't have Aegis. Bull is pulled. Chalk doing his very best to zone. Bronze. I'm reading that right? The Fafnir stole? He did steal that. Okay. I was like, surely that doesn't go in favor, but it does. A big steal by the Bronze Brawler in a 2v3. The Fafnir coming in clutch to make sure that pressure doesn't continue to roll in favor of the Honda Odyssey. Lona's here. The Fafnir able to connect jump onto this Yi. He actually jumps in. Hachi does have ult to reposition back. Both members of the Bronze Brawlers now doing substantial damage and able to pick up the kill onto this Yi. The Bologna, does she have the damage? Not enough. The Bronze Brawlers have a push. With that bull, they were able to dive. Do they actually get a bird? 3 members here. Only the Bacchus standing. Bacchus flops in. Kill bird. We possibly get a pick if they get the CC. Hammer comes through. Do they have enough damage? Should be able to just walk away. You got a big steal. The Fafnir, what would have resulted in that pressure continuing to get or lose their own bird, instead getting Bull, getting a pick and resulting in a T1 and bird for themselves. Those are 2 members of the Bronze Brawlers, level 20 now. These backs should result in some starters. Already starters here for the Honda Odyssey. That's a starter for the Faf. I'm assuming that's going to be starters for everybody here as soon as the Bologna hits short of this Yi. How close are we? This wave should result in a starter. There it is. All 3 members strong. This is a big spike now. All 3 starters, Animosity Axe online. I am curious, level 19 for this Yi, only halfway there. Both relics down for 20 and starters for the Bronze Brawlers. There's a window here that they can operate off of and push with this wave. Need to feel a little confident to step forward. Yi still down Relics for 10. Hammer doesn't connect. Oh, Yi stepping back with combo. Relics are just starting to come back up. All relics now up for all members of both teams. There's a fire blink in. Blown ults after. Not willing to give the beads up. Yi ults to create some separation. Does the Blona have enough damage? Aegis forced. But now she's got to be real careful that she's going to be the one caught. The horrific dropped on the Bologna to make her tank. Titan on the way out. This is going from bad to worse. Two members, of the Bronze Brawlers were about to result in all three going down in an overextension to try to pick them under their own Titan. The Bologna all inning after that Hou Yi. Unfortunately, just not enough, getting Aegis out and immediately horrific. Getting caught, forced to take tower, Hou Yi and Bacchus. The recollapse backwards by the Chalk should result in just the GG by Honda Odyssey for game number 1. You have to respect the attempt regardless. This team not having scrimmed together yet to be contesting one of the upper teams for the Group B is already doing exceptionally. Fireblink used. They have 6 seconds on this Bologna. Bologna coming up. Will it be in time, or does Honda Odyssey have the damage they do to end game number 1 and take home the first win of the set? I mean, they had the pressure. They had a little bit of that lead. Bronze Brawlers, unfortunately, just a little too much of an overextension under Honda Odyssey's Titan. Overall, a pretty decent back and forth game. It's just so unfortunate. We threw everything trying to chase, and then now isn't able to path back out. Gets horrific and just absolutely chunked. Well, Conduit getting buffed. I want to see if that is able to show a little bit of difference, but late game especially, we've talked about this often. When you get an ADC to late, that full 6 item slot, you're going to find more value in an auto attack ADC than a mage typically. Unless you're an E-Shell, which seems to be an ultimate that just shreds just about everything in front of it for some odd reason. The Runeforge, we saw a lot of value from this early. Looks like a conduit. I'm wondering how this TF builds. Is going to be a conduit into tablet, into Book of Thoth, into some percent. I mean, you're a lot cooldown doing that, but interested to see what that is. I'm assuming it's got an immediate tablet, though. Immediate pickup of beads by this Atlas, making completely aware the Ares in the game should focus him a fair amount earlier until he's at least able to get Absolution on. Obviously he's going beads, maybe he doesn't want to go this Absolution, but this Ares getting a ton of pressure in the damage just on chains to this Tia, forcing him off. This should easily result in purple buff. And a really competitive game. If I'm playing this competitive, I have really loved the double tank playing this Cowl Dom Exekins build. Oboe Titans. It's just an absurd amount. Does a extremely valuable into a double front with this pen. Ares chain. Not able to connect the knock immunity and his flames to this Atlas pole. I mean, these are pinged out by this Tia. All 3 members back by Bronze Brawlers. Should result in T2s. Waiting for T2. So T2's across the board. Red spawning next wave. This should result in wave pressure here. It should pass straight in for wave pressure. 4 bronze brawlers. Atlas the only one with T2, so a slight advantage for the bronze brawlers, leading into a little pressure for wave. Atlas stepping up. Should pull beads from both members, and does. Atlas and this Tia. Bologna gets pulled back in. Atlas dashes in for the slow. No CC immunity left on this Tia. Do they decide to make this engage? Got to be a little careful, though. Atlas will have the prot shift with ult along with Chalk ult. Do they have the damage? Ares connects chains. We don't have CC immunity, and Bologna picks up first blood on the Tia. This might go to game number 3 between the Bronze Brawlers and Honda Odyssey. Honda Odyssey notably in first place for the Group B stage. Take a quick peek at leveling order. I've just been interested to see the Bolognas of the world or the game. They level disarm or they're 2. Bologna backs up while the area is actually blinking in. Gets a triple chain. Only one connected to the Tia. Trying to find as much damage as he can, leading into next wave and purple buff. Bologna damage with that Runeforge proc, just doing a ton. Tia is actually forced to back here. Should easily result in purple. It's a little bit of a lead accruing now for the Bronze Brawlers. Should easily be wave and go to Johnson. Grab minis and back here before next wave. Chesters are spawned right below minis. Fisher, appreciate the follow. Welcome to the BBC. Got to be careful. Tablets online for this Tia. Bologna's pulled out. She does have ultimate to back up if need be. Gonna be forced to ult the Chalk ult. Double ult by both front lines. It's really good by the Bologna to make sure she doesn't get silenced out and picked. 1 ult for 2. You'll take that trade. Red spawning shortly. Should result in Hachi first item, and it does. Ozzy is online, so first item is for everyone in the game currently. Ares doing a fair amount trying to back this Honda Odyssey team up from this red. Gotta be a little careful not to get overly poked. It is pinged out. Bologna's wrapping around. She doesn't have ult here. Trying to get as much damage as possible. Ares immediately ults. Good ground stance ultimate for the CC immunity, but both tanks are pulled back in. The chain isn't there, but Hachi ulted after. Good TP by the Chalk to make sure he doesn't get picked by the Hachi ult. It's unfortunate. Just a little bit of mistiming there. This might actually result in a fair amount of poke. They are going to make sure that... Hold on. Surely they're not able to get T1 here. There's no way, considering he only has Ozzy. Surely they don't have enough damage. Bologna's got to be careful. She doesn't have ult. She can't get pulled back in. They got to make sure they secure Johnson. That is a fair amount of damage onto a tower, considering that pressure. They had gotten both neutrals. This is starting to accrue a little bit. That T1 pick would be huge. They got to be careful not to get picked themselves, though. Tia is going to go this tablet Book of Thoth build. The nice part is this roster doesn't have a ton of burst or burn, excuse me, for this Bull Demon pull. They're going to be kind of forced to poke out consistently and gain some pressure, then try to pull it that way or a pick. So Brawlers can feel confident they can just stand, continue to farm and build this lead that they have been slowly. Purple spawning after next wave. Our positioning for it. I'm hoping this isn't a double Shogun's. Maybe it's going to be a Genji Shogun's. Waves being pushed. They're in a weird spot here. I don't really like this. Other Bronze Brawlers. That is Runeforge proc. Wave was shoved under, and Hachi kind of awkward. The timing of that purple buff just put them a little out of sorts. Hachi's able to get a couple range ones on this TF, forced to jump out. Chalk ults all three members. Does the Ares catch this chain, though? Purple is able to be secured by Bronze Brawlers. Bologna forced to ult away without CC immunity. What's up, Red Charu? Ares now ults. Should be all three. Gets ground stance ultimate by the Tia. Should be getting poked out. Chunked himself. Does he survive? He doesn't. Goes down for a nice first kill for the Honda Odyssey team. Oh my god, that damage by both tanks. Damage is starting to come up here for Honda Odyssey. Back up banner auto would have killed that Chalk on the extension. Just a little bit of disconnect that should result in red buff for Honda Odyssey. Just about brought it to even. A little bit of a misplay. So Shogun's for this Bologna now online. So Book of Thoth and Tablet. 0 cooldown for this Tia, but it's going to chunk if he is connecting. Ooh, a little bit of that. The Blink Chain not connecting for this Ares. You got to be real careful. The Bologna is going to be forced to ult here. Instead, just wanting to walk away. She does get to walk. You got to be real careful, though. She didn't want to drop ult. They're a little too chunked out to really step in. Johnson now looking to be secured by Honda Odyssey to make sure they can heal their own T1. Chalk does secure it. Honda Odyssey starting to recover a little bit here, gain their footing. The Tia able to jump in with the damage between all three. The damage there, however, between the Bologna, Hachi getting a little confident. Heavenly maybe allows him to close gap with a range. Hachi dash range 1 possibly. Do they have the damage? He does. They connect it between the two. Chalk forced to back. This might actually result in a T1. If they push this wave quick enough, that would be a big T1 and a 2-for-1 trade for this Ares. There's the Absolution I had mentioned for this Atlas into the Ares pick. So Blink Heavenly here. Assuming it's going to be a Chronos Pendant, lacking cooldown and its percent pen. Either an Op Shard, Soul Reaver, I'm assuming here for the Tia. Kind of locks himself into a build path. This Tia is getting chunked. Bologna doesn't have ult to chase that. That should easily secure a red buff here. A Runeforge proc for the Bologna. This double front line just doing an absurd amount on this Tia. I want to see some more farm secure Chester blues up minis. Hachi's a level 14. Massive lead for him along a solo farm. Can really facilitate this game. Tia doing his absolute best to get as much farm as possible here. Hachi's pathing over to Bull. They have aggressive wards. The chain blink doesn't connect. However, he forces ultimates from both, getting this absolution proc by the Atlas and ground stance via the Tia. Hachi pathing to Bull. Pause. Rat Squid taking a quick second to reconnect. That is two blink chains not connecting. Unfortunately, the damage would have presented at least half health on this Tia. Hachi does pull Bull, shredding it fairly quickly. Kins is online for him. Chalk's going with ultimate. Bologna now blinks. Chalk is recollapsing backwards. This Hachi should be able to secure Bull. He is alone. They're able to create that separation needed. Chalk ult. They have to try to find a pick on this Ares. Heavenly used to create some separation to allow him to survive. But do they have the damage to kill this Tia? The Bologna just needs that disarm. Does he actually get it? They're peeling their absolute best of their ability to get this Bologna off the Tia. Hachi's here though and chunking. They're able to get a pick. This might go to game 3. Bronze Brawlers are fighting their way into this game. If they get a pick, do they have the damage? Got to be really conscious. That Tia tablet, Book of Thoth, is chunking this Bologna. She doesn't have ult. The Atlas dashes in. They have half health. Chalk is up at 8 seconds. They should just take that small win and back up. Titan is at half. Bologna backing off. Red and purple spawning shortly. Red's up. I'm assuming Honda Odyssey will path toward it. Should be no contest by the Brawlers. Johnson and Red being secured by Honda Odyssey. Bologna's here. She is alone, though. Feeling she can do no wrong. The damage for her alone. I guess more than happy to take that trade. Are they just going for the end? I'm hoping they don't make that same mistake that they did. They had a decent lead or comeback in game number 1, and then overextension under Titan. You have both relics on this Tia. You just need to play this slow. Provide this Hachi a chance to really work with this Kanze. Triple ult by this Ares. Forces Absolution proc. And Chalk ult. Bologna's getting chunked. Bologna doesn't have ult. Hachi's got to connect here. This is that moment. They can pull that out. Tia's going to try to chase. Hachi's forced to ult. Tia did engage in. They're going to back off. Bird is halfway to spawning. We didn't find a ton of damage there. Relics, that's both beads, are down here, though. So in the relic department, it is all 3 ults used. Heavenly for both beads and a horrific. So a minor win there for the Bronze Brawlers when you think about it leading into this bullfight. If they can try to bait a fight, hopefully this Ares ult is up. We can get Bull, get a possible pick, look for that bird right away, and go for that end. They are still with the upper hand. Should be a Johnson, a Wave, Bull. They are in the driver's seat. Hachi's pathing over. I'll watch that from an angle. A lot of this comes down to how Bronze Brawlers, Bologna's pinged out. They know she's there. Feeling confident or comfortable enough just to poke this from distance. Tia trying to find those remaining tablet stacks. Bologna pulled back. They're trying to get some poke onto these tanks. The damage onto this Ares from this Tia actually doing a lot more than you would have expected, honestly. Ares blinks in. We missed that chain. Chalk ults. Bologna ults after. Forces ground down by the Tia. Does the Hachi doesn't have ult to really close gap. Now securing Bird. Ares gets the ult, should return into an Absolution proc, and does. Ares is the target. He doesn't have Heavenly for 1 second. Does he have it now? Might have to use it. Goes down to the Chalk Axe. Beads forced by the Atlas, trying to pull the Hachi back in. That Blink engage just has to connect by this Ares. We do secure Bird, though. You keep in mind, this could be a Soul Reaver. The damage coming through from this Tablet, Book of Thoth, into a Soul Reaver is chunking these tanks by this Tia. Hurries up an 8. Here's that remaining push here. We don't have blinks by either one of the front lines. All ultimates are up, are about to be up for both teams. Just waiting on blinks. Chalk and Tia, that damage with it doesn't even have starter, not close to starter even level 16. It's doing a lot of damage. Ares finding those chains. So Bronze Brawlers are now on the receiving end, are losing that poke battle. Honda Odyssey content with slowing the game down, looking for that poke. We have Soul Reaver online now for this Tia. It's gonna be another bull angle. It's kind of coming down to both teams trying to play this slow. Proximity wards both picked up. Going into bull. Red spawning now. Hachi pathing toward bull. Bronze Brawler's got to be careful not to get poked out here. Bologna is now on the receiving end of a ton of damage. That damage is crazy. Heavenly ultimate both used. Do they have the damage to kill? They do. They pick up a kill on this Bologna. Hachi wasn't able to secure bull in that meantime. Now Ares is the target. These builds coming online for Honda Odyssey. Both frontliners down. Hachi able to secure a return kill. Uses Aegis. However, do we have a fire wave enough? Do they do enough if he catches backs? I don't know if it'll actually go through. It might. I think Chalk's able to secure it. Does it actually go through? It does. It secures just barely. That's actually a little crazy considering this window. Like, these fights are actually swaying toward Honda Odyssey pretty heavily. You got a Titan's Bane for the Chalk, the Soul Reaver pickup here by Bronze Brawlers, just doing an absurd amount of damage to this front line. This poke battle heavily going in Honda Odyssey's favor. Honda Odyssey is 1-0 up in the set. Bronze Brawlers definitely been in the driver's seat of this game for the majority of it. Last game had the comeback potential, just dropping it at the overextension under Titan. A lot of this is coming down to waiting for starters. I'm a little concerned, though, when you start talking about poke. Like, Honda Odysseys are already starting to win those trades before starters. Give them starters. I'm a little concerned these double frontline won't be able to stand up to it. Losing that range battle. Maybe they prove me wrong. Starter is online for this Hachi. Not yet level 20 for this Bologna. Just a little away. Would have liked to see her get level 20, then look for that back, unfortunately. Ooh. Divine Glat Shield starter. Ares gets the blink. A double Bologna ultimate. Heavenly and beads. 2 relics forced off of Honda Odyssey. That's a decent engage. Ares has ult, but doesn't have blink to close that because he was the one who blinked in to get the chains initially. This is 2 starters to 1. That's 2 members, actually. Hold on. 2 members of Bronze Brawlers backed off. Doesn't feel comfortable enough for Honda Odyssey to step in and try to contest or take T1. Looking for that back. This should be Fire Wave. Immediately looking toward Bull. The Bologna still doesn't have starter. Bull is pinged out. Honda Odyssey has a ward on it. They don't have blink to really close this gap. Do they have enough damage to burn this quickly before this Atlas is able to step in? Because I don't think they actually out secure it. Bologna doesn't have all. They decide to drop. Oh. Just a little bit of hesitation. Miscommunication even. Honda Odyssey on the winning end of this fight with this poke out, getting them off Bull, getting Bird to spawn, looking now at red. The lead slipping away from Bronze Brawlers. Hachi surely not pathing back to Bull. There's a reg ward. He is pulling it. It is pinged out. Obviously that reg ward, they're aware of this. It's at half health. He could get easily out secured by this Tia. That would be, unfortunately, just not in favor. Ares looked for the blink. Absolution was proc. Tia forced to jump away. Bologna now looking for that engage. Do they have the damage, though? The Tia able to turn it. Hachi ults in, but the Aegis perfectly timed by Tia. The pull back in by the Ares, but does he have the damage? The chain doesn't connect. Hachi doing his very best to win that 1v1 with Chalk. Fight goes in favor of Honda Odyssey. Just a little too much missed. And a really good Aegis by the Tia. Bologna down for 30. Honda Odyssey have that power play. Should be in the driver's seat. Forced to dash. Hachi doesn't have all. Has both relics. Has to be careful. Hachi's prioritization needs to be that wave. Chalk doesn't have blink, but they will have enough damage to kill here, especially considering he doesn't have ultimate to get away. Oh my gosh, if that would have killed him and he didn't use Aegis, that would have been extremely unfortunate. He does connect. All Tia forced to alt in ground stance for the CC immunity. Bologna now looking to clear a wave. This is so close. And a fight breaking one way or the other. Hachi just, if he went down to that TO1 without Aegis, he would have went extremely poor. Cosmos, appreciate the massive raid, dude. Hopefully you're streaming it while I was kind of lurking for those Slash games. Hopefully you enjoyed yourself. Red spawning shortly. For all of those just joining, Honda Odyssey up 1-0 in the set. Ares does connect those blink chains. Bologna now alternate beads, forcing the Tia jumping away. That engage now. Chalk doesn't have all Atlas does. Red being pulled by Bologna. Wave being pushed. Red about to be pulled by Tia. Ares, now the target gets ult. Does he pull him back in? Do they have the damage? This would be the pick that they need. They get that pick. Hachi chasing with ult. Atlas forced to beads to get away. This is a 50-second power play. Ares chunked down. Tia will have the damage. 2 members, i.e. the front line of the Bronze Brawlers, immediately backing to recover HP. Hachi now pulling Bull. 30 seconds on that power play. Ares does have blink. Bologna doesn't. Tia's hovering. Separation in hand. 16 seconds on the chalk. They need to operate quickly. They have a small advantage. Bologna does have ult. Most of the damage turned on. Ares actually gets the blink chain connected. Hits a triple chain. But Bologna extremely poked out. Chalk is up. Has ult. No blink. Ares now the target. 2 members of the Bronze Brawlers completely backed off. Chalking the Ares. Shirley just goes down, and he does. Just a little bit too much disconnect or miscommunication. The Bologna stepping in, getting half health, not feeling comfortable enough to dive when the Ares did. Now Honda Odyssey with their power play of their own. You got to be real careful here. Just clear the wave and back up. You do not need to force anything. Ares up in 20. You lose T1, but can you defend Bird is the real question. Tia minions will be pathing in. Hachi needs to have those range ones ready. Prioritization has to be that wave. Again, there is no blink here, so that they are stepping in. Ares is up. Ares does have blink. He's looking for that blink over the wall. Gets a blink, misses the chain, goes to that triple ult. Absolution will be procced on all 3 members in response. So relic ult by the Ares for an ult from the Atlas. She had to back up. This should result in Bird because of that back off. 2 chains connected. It actually doesn't result in Bird at all. Honda Odyssey looking for the back pedal, wants to poke these tanks down. You got to be real conscious. They have shown the range poke doing a substantial amount in a 30-minute game. The damage from this Atlas Tia. Red is up. Ares about to have ult shortly. We'll have blink in 10 as well. Wave about to push in. Tia looking for minions to tank. Wave's here. Ares gets a blink. Another triple ult. Doesn't have Absolution, but gets Atlas pulled and beads late by the Atlas. Do they have enough damage, though? Tree actually a little messing with me. Absolution proc with Atlas ult. The Ares, the target of most of the aggression, will go down. Does the Hachi have the ult? He's ulting away. Doesn't turn for that damage. Unfortunate. I wish he would have turned it. Ulting out completely. It's both tanks down for 50. I need to see this Achi step out, clear that wave, and immediately return. He's got to clear this here. Force Tia to tank, if not send his minions in to tank for him. 20 seconds on Ares. Game's kind of going the distance considering. I really wish the Hachi turned alt. Hachi was low, but turning alt would have been big. A possible double kill onto the Chalk Tia would have resulted in a 1v1 between him and Atlas. Wool should easily be secured. Hachi won't have alt to really step in to even contest this. Chalk's pathing in himself to try to take this possible 1v1. Ares is up though. Red and Bull both going to Honda Odyssey. The damage numbers is staggering in the difference. It's a 3K pot. A 3K pot for this Chalk as well. Will that be the difference maker in these fights? Chalk stepping forward. We popped the 3K for the Hachi. Chalk already popped his. Thorns popped. Should easily result in Bird. Raven was sent. Proximity ward on this Tia. Ares obviously looking for that blink engage. Oh my gosh. The damage that was just turned on to this Ares. Ares not able to connect chains. Immediately ults and pulls all three members under Titan. Even with the Absolution proc, a little mistimed. The Bologna ults in. Do they have the damage? They're going to easily turn it back onto the Bologna for that overextension. She was doing it alone. Hachi has ult, but does he have enough damage to defend this tower? All three members strong for Honda Odyssey. Looking for that end. 3K pots in hand. Hachi forced to back off. And an all-in for the Honda Odyssey. Looking for that 2-0 set and secure it. A GG for Honda Odyssey. Just not enough. All in all, not a bad set considering, like I said, Bronze Brawlers first we've seen from them. Nothing to be ashamed of. Just gotta get on the same page a few times and in the driver's seat for most of the game for Bronze Brawlers. 52K. Okay. That damage of the 3K pot and late was crazy.